American playwright Tennessee Williams once said that we have to distrust each other. It's our only defense against betrayal. However, this advice directly opposes the story we find in the scriptures about the greatest betrayal ever committed. One of the most heartbreaking moments of the Passion story occurs when Judas betrays the Lord. Jesus foretells of the event during the Last Supper when he tells his disciples that one of them seated with him at the feast table would betray him. "Is it I, Lord?" each of them asked. But only one, Judas Iscariot, received the reply, "Thou hast said." In the account of events from the Gospel of Mark, Christ declares that it would have been good for the man who would betray him to have never been born. Within hours, Judas would approach Christ in the Garden of Gethsemane and betray him with a kiss. It is unthinkable to us that one of Christ's own disciples would lead the arresting soldiers to him, and surely the Gospel writers struggled with this treachery. For in the writings of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, Judas is not named without some reference to his betrayal. The only person who does not seem surprised in the story is Christ himself, who knew, even as he invited Judas Iscariot into the circle of 12, that his journey would end in treachery and deceit. He also knew the importance of the betrayal in the redemption story, for it marked the shift from Christ as teacher and leader to Christ as captive. Spiritual writer Henry Nouwen examines this transformation when he says, "This moment when Jesus is handed over to those who do with him as they please is a turning point in Jesus' ministry. It is turning from action to passion. Things are now no longer done by him, but to him. It is important for me to realize that Jesus fulfills his mission not by what he does, but by what is done to him." Certainly, God challenges us to be doers of the word, but he also gives instruction for those moments when we achieve God's mission in the world as things are done to us and not by us. When we are cursed and hated, we are to love. When we are stricken in anger, we are to forgive. When we are used and persecuted, we are to pray for those causing our harm. In these closing days of Lent, reflect on how you cope with the trials that life inflicts upon you, and let this be a time that your heart moves from action to passion in its pursuit of Christ.